Hi, boys and girls. So today we're going to be talking about sin and character. And if we think back to the timeline um, of creation, we know that God always has an order to things. There was creation, and then the creation of Adam and Eve, temptation of Adam and Eve, and the punishment of Adam and Eve. And so we're going to talk about some of the things that we know to be true when it comes to God and sin. And if we'll think back to some of our biblical truths, we know that sin causes separation and disharmony between people and God. And we know that to be true because God is holy and cannot be in the presence of sin. And we also know why Adam and Eve had to leave the garden because of their sin. And when sin causes disharmony in our relationship with God, then there has to be some form of punishment. We know that there was disharmony with Adam and Eve in their hearts after they sinned, because remember when God called to them and Adam was hiding, it was because he felt ashamed. And a lot of times when we sin, we do feel ashamed for certain reasons. So remember when Adam and Eve sinned and God asked them about it, they also blamed each other. So sin also causes disharmony between one another. And then we know that disharmony occurred between Adam and Eve and the earth after they sinned, because God put a curse on the ground and it produced thorns and weeds, and Adam and Eve were going to have to work very hard to get food, as where in the garden they didn't have to work. It was just growing beautifully. But once sin entered, everything changed. So we know that when we disobey, and I want you to think for a minute about maybe something that has caused disharmony at home because of your disobedience. Were there consequences for being disobedient? Were those consequences worth it? Would you be disobedient again even though you had consequences because doing wrong was worth it? I don't think that you would say so. But we know that disobedience is a choice not to do what I've been told is right to do. God gave people a will to make choices and the ability to know right and wrong. We actually choose to obey or disobey. Obedience is a willingness to do with a happy heart what I am told. Are you being obedient? Is it easier for you to be obedient or disobedient? Does disobedience bring harmony or disharmony in our lives? Are you happy when you're disobedient? If disobedience brings disharmony and makes you unhappy, what is the right thing to do? I think you know that being obedient is always the right thing to do. Now, we've talked about the word initiative. That was last week. Initiative is the ability to do what needs to be done without being told. Okay, so I want you to listen to this scenario. Kelsey came to class early and saw that the board had not been cleaned off yet. She noticed that her teacher was very busy, so Kelsey decided to help her teacher by cleaning the board. Did Kelsey take initiative? Absolutely. Now listen to this scenario. Damien was playing video games with his friend. They both wanted a snack, so Damien went into the kitchen to get something to eat. He noticed his pet dog was sitting by the food and water bowls waiting for someone to feed him. Damien figured someone else would do it and went back to playing video games with his friends. Did Damien take the initiative to feed his dog? No. So he should have stopped and he should have made sure that his dog had food and not just expect someone else to take care of his pet, but he didn't. It's important for us to exercise initiative for the earth and our relationships. And also, we talked about the word orderliness. Remember, orderliness is the ability to plan my work and do it neatly. God showed orderliness when he created everything. And if he shows orderliness, then we must show orderliness as image bearers and stewards. It's very important that we work very hard to be obedient, to take that initiative, and to show orderliness in everything that we do. Because if it's important to God, then we want to glorify and honor him the best we can. All right, so I want you to go ahead and find your workbook page, Sin and Character. I hope that you will take the time to do that. And if you need help, be sure and ask Mom or Dad. I hope you'll have a wonderful Thursday.